Were they drones or UFOs? Did the Navy have another encounter? You might be familiar with the GOFAST video, the GIMBAL video, and the NIMITZ encounter. These happened over the span of about 15 years ago, and they were UFO sightings or UAP sightings that have been officially declassified by the Pentagon. So they are official sightings of unknown origin. We don't know what these tic-tac type objects were, where they came from, who was flying them, or if they were drones. But you might not be aware that just a couple years ago in 2019 there was another encounter from the U.S. Navy off the coast of California, the same location as so many of these previous encounters. Again, they're not sure. They were tic-tac shaped objects, and they very well might have been of extraterrestrial or interdimensional origin. They're not quite sure, but we're going to talk about that. This is coming from the nationalinterest.org. UFOs or drones? What is swarming U.S. Navy warships? The drones purportedly appeared at a time when few civilian ships were nearby, so it's unclear exactly where they came from. It's also unclear who would have access to drones that could stay in the air for as long as 90 minutes. These things were swarming around the ships for 90 minutes. The Navy, Coast Guard, and FBI have pursued a high-level investigation into a series of incidents that took place around California's Channel Islands. The Channel Island region is the region where Catalina Island is. Catalina has its own interesting history with giants. There was a what appears to be about an 8-foot giant skeleton that was pulled out of the earth there. So is there some kind of connection to Catalina and the Channel Islands and why there's so much UFO activity in this area? I think there probably is. I think it's plausible to say the very least. In the summer of 2019 is when this event happened, when according to a story published by The War Zone, groups of unidentified aircraft pursued that service vessel. The incident took place miles off the California coast, entailed as many as 6 aircraft swarming the ships over the course of 2 nights, even in low visibility conditions. It was first reported last year when filmmaker Dave Beatty, who is also a UFO researcher, took notice of incidents involving the Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, the USS Kidd. The Warzone reporters Adam Keogh and Mark Sasodi have obtained new documents via the Freedom of Information Act request, including the deck logs from the relevant time, as well as automatic identification system ship location data. It has been determined that the 2019 events affected not only the USS Kidd, but also the USS Rafael Peralta, USS Russell, USS John Finn, and the USS Paul Hamilton. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ships this thing interfered with, or this encounter, this swarm interfered with. Quite a lot there. Findings show that the incident began in July 14th of 2019 with the sightings of a pair of unmanned aerial vehicles or drones that were spotted by the Kidd. It notified the Rafael Peralta and the John Finn, which also reported such activity. The Peralta later noticed a white light hovering above the ship's flight deck. The log reflects the drone managed to match the destroyer's speed, with the craft moving at 16 knots in order to maintain a hovering position over the ship's helicopter landing pad. To further complicate what was already a complex maneuver, the drone was operating in low visibility conditions, less than a nautical mile at night. The incidents caused the ships to activate its ship nautical or otherwise photographic interpretation and exploitation team, known as its Snoopy team. The drones purportedly appeared at a time when few civilian ships were nearby, so it's unclear exactly where they came from. It's also unclear who would have had access to drones that could stay in the air for 90 minutes. They usually cannot stay in the air by themselves for that long. The Warzone also reported on a set of major incursions that took place the following night, July 15th. So this was a 2-night event. The Rafael Peralta reported the drones first, with the Kidd and other ships following. The logs included references to drones dropping in elevation and apparently moving forwards and backwards, left to right, as well as a call from a passing cruise ship letting the Rafael know that the drones weren't there. So again, they're doing these maneuvers, kind of defying physics, the laws of gravity, inertia. They're doing things that they shouldn't be able to do, especially for drones. But, you know, even if it was a piloted vehicle, you shouldn't be able to do these quick maneuvers going at that fast of a speed. A government investigation soon began with the NCIS and the FBI both taking part. It was thought for a while that the drones had come from a ship called the ORV Alguita, but the owners of the ship stated that the drones they had on board couldn't have traveled very far and wasn't close to the ships in question at the time. The last of the emails included in the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, was in late July of 2019, so it's not known what the Navy and other investigators determined about the origin of the drones. No results of the investigation were ever announced publicly. A surprise, surprise. But then there were further reports of drones on July 25th and the 30th of the year, so there was another event, or a multiple of events, a couple days later. At the time of the writing, we do not have a complete deck logs for the month of July, except for the USS Kidd, so it remains uncertain if other ships also continue to have drone encounters later in the month. Quote, "It is unclear why anyone would operate drones near Navy warships in such a brazen manner," two reporters said. Commercially available drones are not commonly capable of flying for such long durations across great distances with speeds in excess of 45 miles per hour. Based on the pooled data available from the deck logs, we estimate the drones traveled at least 100 nautical miles in the July 14th incident. 100 nautical miles. This raises many questions. Who has that many drones or can coordinate them simultaneously, much less near warships? Was it a foreign government? Something related to a classified program? If this was a foreign government, that's sort of an act of war to get that close and be swarming U.S. Navy ships. That is definitely brazen and bold. If not stupid, which may be tested, the special programs here, classified programs, may be tested near the San Clemente Island, but why the secrecy and no official report of the incidents? If drones were not operated by the American military, these incidents represent a highly significant security breach. If they were part of some kind of covert action, it is nonetheless unclear why they were flown so openly and so frequently in almost a harassing manner. More troubling still, if a foreign state actor was involved, where exactly did the drones launch from? Of course, there's another possibility. The U.S., the war zone does not use the acronym UFO, but some of the media coverage based on it has used it. The New York Post went with the headline, "UFOs harassing U.S. warships off California." Beatty, the filmmaker who came forward with the incident back in 2019, quoted a Navy veteran on the USS Kidd who said that, quote, "I know," he said he could have seen them with the naked eye, and they were almost eye level with the bridge hovering. They were the same tic-tac shaped objects. The Pentagon is reportedly getting ready to issue a new report of UFOs due to the Trump era doctrine or decree that the national intelligence agencies have to release all of their findings, information, all the reports that they've kept hidden on UFOs. They had 180 days rather, and that's coming to an end this summer. So we will see if there's any information about these findings that were not originally publicly released. Hopefully they will be. Again, we don't know exactly what's going to be in this document. Is there going to be a lot of blacked out? It's hard to say how much we're actually going to get. We're hoping for the best, but who knows? So, another incident. This goes in line with the NIMITZ encounter, the GOFAST, the GIMBAL video. These are Pentagon released videos, and they were declassified. They were admitted by the Pentagon to be real events, and now we seem to have another event where the FBI and the NCIS, along with the U.S. Navy, was involved in this sighting and being, quote, harassed by these cylindrical, tic-tac, shiny, flashy objects. So let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. I thank you for watching this video. Do tune in at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on Sunday nights. We do our Enter the Unfamiliar live show. We talk about the UFO phenomenon, the paranormal, biblical prophecy, strange mysteries, and hidden histories. Thank you for watching.